Okay. Let's say you are a freight broker or you're a freight agent and you're thinking like, wait a second, I'm pumped up. I'm so excited to start this business, but how do I make money? What's going on? Well, this is the video for you. And hopefully you have that figured out before you start. But if you haven't, let's rock and roll. So let's say you find a shipper and they trust you to move a load for them. So they're like, or maybe they want to test you out. So what they would do is they would send you in an email some basic load details and ask you for a rate. And so what you would do is first of all, you're pumped up. You're excited. This is your first email you've ever gotten from a shipper. You're freaking out. What do I do? This is what you do. You go on a load board, like let's say maybe dat.com or Truckstop, and you end up posting some of the general load details, and you find some carriers who are interested in booking that load. So let's say the carrier asks for $800 and they're excited about that number and you're thinking, great, I think this will work. What you want to do though is be able to make some money. Let's say you ask the shipper then for $1,000 because you're thinking in your mind like, I want to make $200 on this. Industry standard, you're adding about 20%. The shipper is pumped up. They're like, yes, $1,000 works. Everyone's excited. And then you arrange the transportation. So you do rate confirmations between both parties. And then you give the carrier all the load details, then you give them the addresses and the pickup times and any people that maybe the carrier should be calling when they get to either facility. And so you're coordinating the shipment. The carrier picks up the load. You're monitoring the shipment, maybe calling the carrier once a day just to make sure everything is on track. And then the load gets delivered just fine. And then you end up getting into the factoring side of things. So it sounds kind of complicated, but basically you end up getting all of your paperwork together. You shove it into the factoring company dashboard and you're saying to the factoring company, I want my carrier paid within 1 day because that's what the carrier asked for me to do. They wanted to be quick paid, which is how you call it. So the factoring company pays my carrier. And so then my factoring company then has that debt of $800 until my shipper pays my factoring company. But what factoring does is let's say for example, you are doing $200,000 worth of business every month, but you don't have that amount of money in your bank account to be able to just freely give away and then wait, sometimes between 30 and 90 days for the shipper to pay you. So you have a factoring company do that for you. And they do that at 1.5%. So in this case, they'd be taking $15 in order to pay my carrier right away. That makes my carrier happy and they get paid, and then they just have to wait until the factoring company then just waits until the shipper pays them. So you're doing the invoicing through your factoring company. You send the invoice to the shipper, you're asking for the money, and then the factoring company then waits for the shipment to come through. They pay the carrier, everything goes smoothly there, and then you collect your profit. So the factoring company takes the 15% the $15 out of the $200. So you, at the end, make $185 for that one load. And that's it. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments.